So we're back with another TV deal for one team across 5 different nations, but we've not chosen any of the big nations. Oh, no. Today, we've chosen 5 nations that are not considered Europe's elite. We've chosen Sweden, we've chosen Denmark, we've chosen Norway, we've chosen Czechia, and we've chosen Croatia. Now, they are all good nations and good leagues and good teams in their own right. But what if we gave one team in those leagues a bumper £250 million per season TV deal? Will they dominate, and will they help elevate the league and go on and win some European trophies? Let's go and find out. As mentioned in the intro, yes, here we go. We've got Croatia, Czechia, Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. So if we look here at Croatia, the first league, nobody in the first league has the TV deal. No, it's the second tier. It's Vukovar 1991 with Ivan Bozic in charge. If we have a quick look here at the club finances, the income, £250 million, renewing TV deal that runs for 1 year. And that will, of course, change every single season. The Czechia second division, we've gone Dukla Prague because Prague is the capital of Czechia, and Sparta and Slavia Prague are the best teams. So let's go with Dukla and let's see if they can take over. In Norway, we've gone with Jerv. Now, of course, these windows and this season start at different times, which is something maybe I should have looked into and not done. But here we are. The sim's done. So whatever. Jerv. How did I pick these teams? It was random, really. I mean, Jerv that sounded decent, didn't it? I thought like the sound of Jerv. We've gone Sondejijk. Sondejijk. Oddball. I mean, I'm not going to put that much emphasis into every single time I say it. I've probably nailed it, obviously, because my pronunciations on this channel are unbelievably brilliant. As I hear in the comments all the time, I can't believe you pronounce that so well, Jay. Well, what can I say? I'm a linguist. Sondejijk, Oddball, in the Danish second tier. And last, but certainly not least, it's Jönköpings Södra IF. Now, these guys are actually bottom of the league when we arrive. So there is a third tier of Sweden that's loaded in, so they won't be out the game straight away. Hopefully the money will come in and they'll be able to sort of get themselves rocking and rolling. So if let's jump through, should we go 5 years to begin with, and we'll see how things are starting to take effect. I'd like to think all of the teams will have brought some players in and probably established themselves in the top divisions of each individual nation, at the very least. I'm not expecting trophies in the first 5 years, but I'd like them all to be in the top division. Will they be? We'll see. Right, so we're looking in the Croatian second league to begin with, and as you can see over here on the right-hand side, Vukovar 1991 in 24-25 did win the league, which means in just their second season, they won. They have now just been relegated. They've got £839 million in the bank, £220 million transfer budget, right, competitions, domestic leagues. So they came up, they finished 9th, 6th, and then now 10th. Okay. They're only spending £139,000 on wages. How does that compare to the rest of the league? So let's have a look at their team for a start. So they're basically all around the 100 mark. 106 is their best player. And their highest wage is 11,000. So let's compare that to, we'll just go mid-table, Lokomotiva. Let's see how they're doing. Okay, so it's 3 times the price, and their players are much worse in terms of current ability. Yeah, I mean, our best player is 106. They've got what? 16 better. Right, okay. The champions, Rijeka, haven't got a player paid more than our top earner. 8,750 is their top earner. And, I mean, to be fair, their current abilities, again, so many players above 106. So, it's going to be a long old slog in the Croatian League. The Swedish Premier Division, and we're not there. Jönköpings Södra IF are in mid-table in the second tier. Only mid-season, though. Only mid-season. They're spending £432,000 on wages. Now, they have been up in the Premier Division. They have since been relegated. They went down, and they spent 2 seasons in the First Division South. And they came up again, back-to-back promotions. Then they came straight back down. So they are literally flirting around with promotion and relegation like it's going out of fashion. And the highest paid player here is Balu Tabla on £205,000 a week, which is £182,000 more than Zak El Bouzidi, who, to be honest, at £23,500 is overpriced and overpaid. Balu Tabla, he came for free. They didn't lose any money in the transfer fee, but bloody hell, a 102 player getting £200,000 a week. And then you've got Oliver Olsen down here on 8k a week at 111. Poor sod. So this is a better team. They've got more players over 106. 106 was the best over in Croatia. Here, got a little bit more going forward. So I think we'll probably balance things out a bit more in terms of the wages. I'd like to think that it's an anomaly, that £205,000. I can't see them continuing to do that. I'd like to see if they're going to do that, they want a 130, 140. Even then it'd be overpriced, but still, it would help elevate them. So, it is what it is. Okay, so in the Danish 3F Superliga, FC Copenhagen have won every single season except this season where it's been Midtjylland. Sonderjysk have finished in 8th, and they're spending £300,000 on wages in terms of where they've been. So they did very well in the Nordic Bet Liga. They were 3rd, 4th, 3rd, 2nd. 3rd was in real life, actually, the first one. Then 4th, 3rd, 2nd, so continuous improvement. Then they finished 6th last season, and then 9th this most recent season that's just gone. So a step backwards, but it is what it is. The squad themselves, the best team we've seen so far. The best team we've seen so far by a landslide. And you know what? £19,500 for Philip Panak, Stephen Odie at £18,750. It's all relative, isn't it? They are paying high wages to some players that are a bit rubbish. But it's one of those things, isn't it, really, that you do need to speculate to accumulate in these leagues. When you've got that amount of money, as you can see, £834 million in the bank. It is what it is. In terms of Midtjylland, let's have a look at them then. They were the champions this season. And they're paying, well, £31,000 for their top player. £474,000. So they are paying more in terms of wages. And Copenhagen paying £827,000. So they're paying like nearly 3 times the amount. Fair play. Over in Norway, and we're not in the top division. Oh, Jayhuahua top. Jayhuahua top at the mid-season point-ish. And they've been finishing. They finished 3rd. They came down, so they were down as of the start of this experiment. So 4th, then 3rd. Or they might have finished 4th in real life. Not sure on the dates. 1, 2, 3. I don't know. Anyway, 3rd, then 10th, 10th, 12th. And now all of a sudden we're in first, walking away with it. Squad, again, 98 out of 98 current ability. £27,500 for Agon Sadiku. And he's not even playing. He's just a sub-merchant. Again, not the best team. Not the best team over here. There's not a lot's happened so far in this opening gambit, unfortunately. And Dukla Prague in Czechia have finished 4th, but they've gone up via the promotion playoff system, and that's the best they've done this season. Fantastic stuff. They're only spending 40k on wages. They've got loads of money. Loads of money. They've been very, very cautious. I mean, they're the worst team. They're the worst team by a mile. Only 2 players over 100 current ability, but they're not spending anywhere near the amount of money that they could be. So I think that will change over the next few years. We're going to go another 5 years in a second. The promotion and relegation places here. Dukla Prague won on penalties, actually, against Viktoria Žižkov. Okay, so they're going to be up in the top division. We've got Vukovar in Croatia, who got relegated, didn't they? And we've got Jerv, who are currently top of their second tier. We've got Sonderjysk, who are top. And where is Jönköpings again? Yeah, and Jönköpings were mid-table in the second tier. So okay, let's go another 5 years, 2033. Okay, so Jerv, I've got Peter Wenberg in charge now. They are 13th in the Premier Division of Norway. So they're up there, and they are potentially going to avoid relegation. So in 5 years, let's have a look how we've done. Oh, you're having a laugh. We last year in 2028. They ended up finishing 9th. They were top when we were, unless it was 2029 where they finished 5th. We were in 2028, so maybe, yeah, well, it ticked over to 2029. Would it? I don't know. No, did we have the 9th in there? I can't remember. Oh, I'm going to have to go back. Oh my God. So I've just come back to 2028. So they're first currently after 12 games. And this season they finished 9th. So they finished 9th that season. We've now got £1.07 billion in the bank. Current wage of £986,000. So they've got 7 million spare. The senior squad is as follows. The current ability is somewhat decent. I'm not sure how that fares for the league. They're paying £325,000 for Sergio Carrera, who can't believe his luck. 32 years old, never reached his potential. Some big money being paid over here. So Premier Division. The salary per annum is 3 times the amount for Jerv as Viking, who are in second place. Only 4 teams eclipse 10 million per season. That's Bodo Glimt and Brandt as well. £42 million. I mean, the net transfer spend as well is the most for Jerv. They are spending big, and they're going to, by hook or by crook, push their way in to the conversation. The problem is, though, I'm really disappointed they finished 9th that season. Then they did a bit better. Then he finished down in 12th. Then out of nowhere, they finished 1st. Absolute madness. But then this season is their first season up in the division. Can they survive? The media thinks so. We're underachieving for that, but the media thinks so. Okay. Right, so Sonderjysk are currently in the relegation phase. And, well, we'll do the preliminary phase. Okay, so the end of the season is nigh. The Copenhagen and Midtjylland have been winning the league. So Sonderjysk, let's have a look at what they've been saying. So they're paying £350,000 a week on wages. Their wage budget is exactly £700,000. So they're spending half exactly. And they've got £210 million to spend in the transfer budget. They've been up and down. They've been up and down, haven't they? Yo-yoing around. One player here, Charlie Newok, is on £52,000 a week. Everyone else is somewhat muted. And now, in terms of the wages, it's actually interesting that Copenhagen are spending double what Sonderjysk are. The two teams that have won the league so far, Copenhagen and Midtjylland, are up there. And then we are third. So again, we are powerhousing our way up and bolstering our way through with finances. They spent nearly £4 million. Second most is only 1.32. And then nobody has actually spent more than £300,000 in terms of a net spend. Copenhagen here, minus 7 million net spend. They've made 7 million quid. Fair play. The season preview thought they were going to go down. The fact that they've finished in the relegation phase and they've avoided relegation, it seems, is a net positive. Can they stay up and strengthen next season? I'd like to think so. And Dukla Prague are spending £46,000 a week on wages. They're not spending big. They've not got any good players. They're back in the second tier of mid-table as well. Bloody hell. They came straight back down after going up, and they've stayed down. Dukla, come on. So Jonkopings are spending £400,000 basically on wages, and they've got 7.6 in the bag. They were last time we saw them in 2028. They were mid-table. They finished fourth twice, then second, and then they won promotion. And then they've stayed in the Premier Division for 2 seasons, 13th then 10th, and now they're 7th after 12 games. So they are improving. As I said, they're spending £400,000 a week on wages. Anyone massively over the top? A couple in the 30s, but they are some of the best players in the squad. I mean, Daniel Strindholm should probably command a bigger wage for his place in the team. But I'll be honest with you, they're not doing too badly. Not doing too bad. How does that compare to the rest of the league? Well, in terms of the transfer spend, they are 5th. In terms of salary, they are first by double. Malmo are half what Jonkopings are spending. So you'd expect them to continue to improve as this experiment progresses. Okay, so last time we were here, we saw Vukovar get relegated from this division. Now they're back and qualifying for Europe, getting into the Conference League. So this is the biggest, this is the first bit of success that we've actually seen. Again, they're spending about half of their wage budget. Literally, it says exactly half. I don't know why this has happened for 2 different teams. Really weird where the game sort of glitched out. But in terms of the competitions, well, we came down. We were here for a few years and we came down. And straight back. Like, no question. And then 4th, and down in 9th, then 6th, then 5th. So we've climbed back from 9th over a couple of seasons and not done too badly. In terms of the transfer spend, it is 3rd for Vukovar. And in terms of salary, they're also 3rd. Osijek and Dynamo are ahead of them. Now, you'd expect other teams to be ahead of them, of course, being some of the bigger teams in the country. But I'm very surprised, because we've seen it in the other leagues where our teams are just paying so much more. So I'd like to think that if they're already qualifying for the Conference League and they're 3rd in terms of paying for the wages, when we come back, we're going to do 10-year jumps now. It's going to be 10 years. They're going to probably be first for salary per annum, and I would expect starting to get a bit of success for Vukovar. So from the relegation last time at 5 years to now at 10 years being the team that's doing the best, fair play, they've come a long way in 5 years. So let's go 10 to 2043. See what's happening there. Okay, currently top of the Norwegian Premier Division is Jerv. They have also won one back here in 2039. In 2033, they were back down here, weren't they? Were they down in second tier again? No, they'd come up. And they were just about going to survive. And they have survived. They finished 11th. Then basically, apart from a 9th, they finished 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. One first, 2 fourths, 1 second, and 4 thirds. Fair play. And they could go and win it again this season. They look like they could be on for it. The current wage is £1.77 million. They've only got £170 million in the bank. I'm not sure where all their money's gone. £250 million. They've not built a stadium unless that stadium's coming. If we come back and we see a stadium, no debts or loans, but that's fine. There's no debts because you probably had all the money to get it. To be honest, actually, it's probably reset itself because when you get over a certain amount, the finances can't calibrate and can't work it out. So they're not able to spend the amount of money that they need to, are they? I do quite enjoy doing this with different obscure nations doing a TV deal because it adds a different dynamic to some of the ones where you just expect them to go on and win and dominate Europe. It's really nice to see that slow progression. So if you've got any suggestions for teams to do this with or nations, please do let me know. Keep them in the same continent though, because I can't be bothered doing cross-continental sort of comparisons. It just wouldn't really make for a great video, I don't think. But yeah, do send your suggestions in for these kind of things because I do enjoy these videos, and yeah, I'll definitely be doing some more. So if you want your team or a team featured or a nation featured, let it be known. So, in terms of the players, I mean, they're paying over £200,000 for these two. I mean, their best player in the league, the best player in the team is getting £170,000 a week. Their other best player is getting 240. So they're paying the big bucks to some of their best players. Stands to reason. Makes sense. Now, how does this compare in terms of finances? The net spend is £16 million compared to Brandt on £700,000. So that is insane. Now, the salary, yeah. 4 times. I think they were double last time Viking, weren't they? I think so. But it's 4 times now. 4 times what they're spending that per week. So there we go. But they have won a league. They've also won back-to-back Norwegian Cups. You love to see it. Current holders. The Jerv on the rise. Sonderjisk have got £1 billion. Okay. So maybe a stadium has been bought over there. They're spending £900,000, basically £1 million on wages. They've got £5 million they can spend. Bjorn Berge is in charge. And they have been finishing, in the last 10 years, started breaking into that top half, and then they've been finishing 8th, 4th, 7th, 5th, 4th. So never higher than 4th. Disappointing, really. In terms of wages, a couple of big dogs up here. Meshal Al-Munayf and Mladen Basic. He's on more than a basic wage, isn't he? Blend Batiki. Mads Wolf. Oh, what a name. What a name. Smell a Danish Wonderkid wheel coming on. Again, always put your suggestions for Wonderkid wheel teams and nations in the comments down below. Coming soon, Belgium. Okay, so yeah, they've not really done loads. Let's have a look at the actual league table then. Team detail. Well, in terms of the salary, they have overtaken Copenhagen and Midtjylland. They are now paying the most out of anyone in terms of the salaries. Just overtaking Copenhagen. Considerably higher in terms of transfer spend. It is what it is. Okay, so Dukla Prague, let's go and look at them because they were awful last time. Okay, so Dukla Prague are up in the top division and they are currently qualifying for the Conference League. And how do they do then? So last time we were here, they were just mid-table obscurity, weren't they? It was sad viewing, to be honest. And it continued to be sad viewing for a few years. Then 36, 37, bang, they came up and then straight back down. Then they came back up though, and they stayed up 12th, then 6th, 5th, 4th. So that's constant progression. That's great to see. Hopefully we can kick on a little bit more. They've got lots of transfer budget. They're only spending £280,000 a week on wages. They could spend another £5.5 million. Now they haven't got anyone who's absolutely crap getting over £200,000 a week. So that's probably why they're not spending that much. Their best earners are probably a couple of their best players, to be perfectly honest. So I don't begrudge them that at all. And they're not even top 3 for the net spend on wages. They're actually 4th on £14.1 million, which is, I mean, Sparta Prague are more than twice what we're spending. So it's taking a bit longer for Dukla to do something, but I think they will. I think they will continue to kick on and move forward with it. So Jönköpings are currently, Dukla Prague haven't won anything, had they? No cup for Sonderjisk as well, right? So I just wanted to quickly go back, right? So Jönköpings, I've just gone through to Jönköpings and I've just realised that they've actually won two cups, the most 2 recent as well. So they're back-to-back cup winners. In terms of the Premier Division, they are down in 10th. They've never won it. They've never won it at all. As a team, they're spending £878,000 a week on wages. And again, no, they're all starting to come up together with the wages here. Quite a few in the 40s, 50s and 60s, but no one like over £200,000, which is good to see. Very good to see. Is it going to be the top of the division? Oh, you bet it is. You bet it is. Nearly 3 times what Malmo is. 3 times what Malmo would be about £43 million. Well, £5.5 million away from that. So 2.5 times for Malmo are easily. So expect big things to happen in the near future with Jonkopings. And last but not least, Vukovar 1991. They are, again, plenty of money. Spending exactly half their wages here. 1.29 million. How does that even get calculated to be exactly the same? Couple of big signings here. £180,000 a week for Philip Olsen. Not great, but loads of players coming up together. So, again, semi-sensible. Current Croatian Cup winners, 2042-43. In terms of the league, finished 4th getting Europa League football. We haven't won it. We haven't won it yet. Is that coming? Is that coming? Let's have a look at the past positions. We finished 3rd and 2nd in the last few years. A couple of 5ths, another 2nd. We've been there or thereabouts. Last decade, we're really on the rise. We are really on the rise. And spending more than Osijek and Dynamo for wages, we've eclipsed them from 3rd to 1st. In terms of the net spend, we've doubled what Rijeka spent. £36 million. Signing players from Chelsea, Juve again. All right, sending someone to Dukla Prague for free. Filip Kadlec, getting him off the books. Okay, so couple of domestic cup wins so far. Couple of European qualifications as well, and 1 top division win. That's for Jerv. Another 10 years then. Rock and roll. We're going to check in on Jerv straight away, and yeah, where's the note gone? Whatever. I'm not sure what's happened here, but Jerv. Okay, in 2053, right, the note's gone, but they've won, in the experiment, 6 Norwegian Cups and 6 Norwegian top division titles. Now, the balance is minus £30 million. They've got the Jerv Stadium built in 2044, so that might be where some of the money went. However, I don't know what's just happened. It seemed like my guy had retired. I thought everything looked a bit weird because this wasn't there. I was being quite confused. I'll leave some of that in. So I've loaded 2050. I've gone back to 2052, seen I was still there and seen everything. Gone to 2054, seen I was still there. Come back to 2053 again, and now the note's back on Jerv. Right, so 6 wins of the league, 6 wins of the Norwegian Cup. Couldn't even get on the editor, that was the problem. Because I've just noticed, minus 30 million, yeah, they got the stadium, the Jerv Stadium. The income, it's still there. The TV deal's still there. What's CVA? £100 million in debt. Probably for the stadium, but I don't know. I don't know what's happened. Why have they got so little money? They've got no budget. Only spending £500,000 on wages. Is that going to be still top of the pile? It is. It is by a considerable margin. But I'm confused. Confused what's happened there. There's the Conference League. They've only been in it 3 times, so they've obviously been. It's Europa League really. Second qualifying path, league phase, round of 16. Lost to Roma in the final. Oh. Spoiler, no other person's got to the final in terms of Europa League anyway. Right, okay. The Jerv done all right so far. But a lot of money's gone. £881 million for Sonderjisk over here. They are absolutely ripping it up. They're currently 1st in the championship group. Look at the whole league. They've won the league for the last 3 years in a row. So they've started to take over and maintained it. The last 3 years are the years for Sonderjisk. A couple of Danish cups as well. Quick look over the team detailed. Yeah, in terms of the salary per annum, oh my god, £158 million. They're spending £3 million a week on wages. That means, oh, they've got some good players. Okay, 159 and 161 over here, £300,000 a week. That's so acceptable. That is so acceptable, spending over £200,000 a week on all these guys, but they're all pretty decent. This guy's leaving to join Bayer Leverkusen, okay? But they're all good players. I mean, look at this. This guy is 161. Lars Ellerman, great player. £12.5 million they signed him for. He's wanted by Al Nassr. And they've won a Conference League in 2048. They're the first team to win one. The first and only. The Sonderjisk have won a Europa Conference League. Okay, so European trophy has come to one of our teams. Excellent stuff. Okay, so Dukla Prague. Currently 2nd in the league here. Getting Europa League qualification. It's been all the Pragues apart from Sigma Olomouc, but it's Sparta and Slavia. Dukla nowhere to be seen, although they are up there. They are up there. 2 Czech FA Cups and the most recent one on penalties against Mlada Boleslav. Yeah, up there and representing considerably. Nothing happened in the Conference League or Champions League or anything like that. So yeah, it is what it is. Fair enough, Dukla. Again, spending half their wages. I don't get how this happens, but something's happening over here. The game's sort of recalibrating it in some capacity. Not overspending massively. And they're actually third still. They're actually considerably behind. I think they were fourth last time, weren't they? But they're considerably behind Slavia and Sparta. Over 10 million. So, they need to up the game. Otherwise, never take over. The Jönköpings, well, they've got 4 Swedish Cups and 5 Swedish Premier Divisions. Let's go and look then. So, they won 3 in a row from 45 to 47. And then they went 3 years without one. And then they've won another 2 in a row. So, that's good to see. £1.07 billion in the bank. They've got a new stadium built in 2041 as well. So, not quite sure what's happening with the finances over with Jerv. We assumed it was the stadium, but if Jönköpings have bought one and still got £1 billion, I'm confused. Spending £2 million on wages, 2.2, did I say? And it's not as good, is it, as who we just looked at? Was it Sonderjisk who had the best team? Yeah. Some big money over here. Somewhat decent players. Of course, that probably will definitely be. Oh, God. I'm going to say it's probably going to be the highest wage, but it absolutely is. It's unbelievable. 14 million second, the only other team over 10 million, but we're on 93.3 million pounds. We should be winning the league every single year. Whatever. And so let's go look at Vukovar, last but not least. 1.09 million pounds in the bank. Another stadium. Not the best capacity, the new stadium, but it is what it is. Currently spending 1.5 million pounds on the wages. Again, some of their better players are commanding some of the higher wages. I mean, there's not a lot in it, between like 138 here for Aviv Asayag on 45k a week, compared to Lorenz Stocker, who's we'll go Iago Batella, who's got 3 attribute points better off, but he's on £170,000 a week. I mean, I suppose Aviv Asayag is 33, so not the best comparison, but Ruben Duran is at 136, just a few behind, and he's at 25 years old, and he's only 22,500, so 8 times less ish. Currently second in the Croatian First League, losing to Hajduk Split. They won the last 2 though before this, and they've also won 2 more, 46-47 and 44-45. So that's 4 domestic leagues for Vukovar, 3 Croatian Cups. I think we saw one last time where they were the cup holders, and they are the most spending. And they're spending the most on wages, £65 million. Okay, so we're starting to take over. There's not a lot happening in Europe. However, we have got a little bit of time left to go. We're only just over halfway through. One huge big last jump now. We're going to go to the end of this experiment. I think I get somewhere in the 2070s. I think it's a minimum of 50 years. Don't hold me to that though. It is. It's 2074, so we're 51 years into the future. And let's go and break this down. Jerv, no money. Spending not loads on wages, 400,000. I feel like they've not had money for a lot of years. I mean, I've just jumped 21 years and they've won 1 league, 2. No, since we were last here, they've won 1 league. Where have we been finishing? It's been crap, and it's been mid-table, really. That's really disappointing. Really disappointing. Since the first team to win one, not even the top wage spenders now, considerably behind Mulder. Nearly 3 times less. Spending nothing. Oh, Jerv, you've let me down. Not won any not won any European trophies either. So that's that, Jerv. Your time here in the experiment's done. Well, let's go over to Denmark and Sonderjisk, where we see a lot of trophies. We've got 15 cups and 20 leagues. They'd only won the first 3 last time, hadn't they? 3 in a row. And we've come through 20 years. So since we were last here, they'd won 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 have not been won by our team, Sonderjisk. Copenhagen have been second pretty much religiously. Midtjylland spoiling the party, third wheeling a bit. Brøndby also getting themselves in there. But we've got £51 million in the bank. We've got a brand new stadium. We're spending £4.5 million a week on players. And we've got some players in the 160s. Some good players here. 166 here for Ruben Santos. Great player. That's very, very interesting. Right, have we won any European trophies? Well, we won a Conference League. Now, this is having some spoilers for others, isn't it? We've only had 1 Conference League through the whole experiment. Dukla Prague runner-up in 2053-54. And that's all they won, did Sonderjisk. So they've dominated Denmark, but they have not dominated and conquered Europe. They've won 1 Conference League. In terms of net spend, they are spending nearly 5 times what Copenhagen are now, at £194 million. Dukla Prague have won the last 3 in a row, and since we last here, they've won 6, it looks like. They hadn't won one, had they? We were last here in 2053. Well, in the last 21 years, they've won 7. It appears they've won 7 FA Cups. 5 since we were last here, because they just won in 2023, hadn't they? Yes. Yes, they had. 2053, sorry. Excuse me. Yeah, okay. So they've done a little bit of madness over here. They've not built a stadium yet. They've got £900 million in the bank. Just spending £656,000 a week on wages. Very muted. Very muted indeed. I mean, Helgi Hardison is a 117 current ability player on 58k a week. That's ridiculous. But some of these players, like Vladimir Sepiashvili, 148, great player, £35,500 a week. He commands far, far more wages, in my opinion. But it is what it is. We have now eclipsed the Pragues as well in terms of our wage spend. We are £7 million clear of them. Jönköpings, well, a lot. 19 Swedish Cups and 24 Swedish Premier Divisions. They're currently top. They have been top. They have been dominating since we were last here. So Malmo won in 2053 and AIK in 2061. That's it. We've won every single other season. Spending £3.5 million a week on wages. Can't wait to see what that's going to be in the annual salary overview. Oh my. Niels Dueland, £650,000 a week. It's a lot, isn't it? It is a lot. But hey, they've got it to spend. They've got all the money they want in the world to spend. Go and get those players to try and get you a European trophy. Unfortunately, they haven't got one. They just haven't got one. So now it's down to Vukovar. The last, but certainly not least. And they've just finished second behind Rijeka. Now, we haven't won another league. Well, if we've not won another league, we've not won anything in Europe, have we? Bloody hell, 1.1 billion still as well. It's not even like the money's gone. You can't even use that as an excuse like Jerv can. £2.3 million a week they're spending on wages. I wonder how big that is compared to the rest of the league. Ika Kuenka, again, 152 for Sam Sommer. What, 210k a week? That's borderline acceptable at a 152. Everyone else in the 130s, taking them for a ride a little bit here, especially because they're not performing. They're not winning the leagues. If you're getting paid that much and you're winning, say no more. He's not won any European trophies. What's happening over here? Team details. Yeah, £100 million salary per annum, whereas Rijeka are on 38.5. So we find ourselves here now at the end of the experiment, disappointed really. Look at the Champions League. I mean, no one's won a Champions League, have they? We know no one's won a Champions League. Yeah, there you go. No one has won a Champions League. We saw Jerv get runner-up in the Europa League, and that's it. And then Sonderjisk won a Conference League, and Dukla Prague also did come runner-up Conference League. So that's that. It's a bit disappointing, really. Now, we are going to be doing this with more obscure nations and stuff in future videos. Do we do 2 teams per nation to try and have a little bit of a domestic rivalry to help try and elevate them and the league a little bit more for those European places? Or do we stick with 1 team per nation? Let me know in the comments. Also, put your suggestions in for who you want to see me try and do this with. Because it's not always going to be 5 or 6 Champions Leagues. I've had a hell of a lot of fun with this, despite the fact that we didn't actually win any leagues. It took a while to get there because from the second tier of these nations, the reputation of those leagues are very low, so to get the players in is very difficult. And I think they have done all right. They've won a lot of leagues domestically. It's just European, from a European perspective, I am disappointed. Especially because like you've got AIK who've actually won a Conference League here, and they're Swedish. The Danish manager, Osijek as well, Croatian, runner-up. Like, come on. Malmo as well, down here. They won. I mean, I suppose, realistically, Sonderjisk aren't in the Conference League now, are they? They're probably playing in the Champions League every season. Are they? Yeah, so they're getting knocked out in the playoff round. Got to round of 16 there. I don't know. I mean, losing to AC Milan, there's no shame in that, is there at all, to be honest? But, you know, let me know who you think won this experiment and let me know, like I say, who you want me to do this with in the future. But other than that, that's all there is to say. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.